50.
Hello, hello. What up? Wagwan. What's up? ¿Cómo está? Hola. Buenos días. What's going on, my people? It's your boy African 50. And I'm here again with a brand new video, man. I'm here with a brand new track. Yes, your boy African 50 is back with a brand new track. And I'm here to talk about a great man, a legend, a living legend, a mogul, a veteran in the entertainment industry in Jamaica. He's a Rasta man, and I'm saluting and sending out tribute to Rastafarians and Rastafarianism and the culture, and I'm gonna be making a video or a couple of videos on Rastafarian life and cultures and experience and where it all started and where it's at today and all of that. I'll be making videos on those guys, but I wanted to start off on that project by talking about Rastafarians and Rastafarianism and where it all started and stuff like that. But I had to do a video and a great man, which was Capleton, the fireman, King Shango, King David. Big up yourself, sir. Big up yourself, and then the whole of the David House crew. Big up yourself. You guys, respect is always lodged to the heavens, man. And before I get down into the video, I always say thank you to my friends, my family, my well wishers, my subscribers. Big up YouTube. Your respect is always to the heavens. Big up to my donors, my followers, and everyone that watching me from here in Florida and across the globe. Thank you guys so much for your love and support, because I always need it. So I'm here to talk about a mogul, a veteran, and his name is none other than Sizzla Kalonji. His name is Sizzla. Some call him Sizzla, some call him Kalonji, but the full name is Sizzla Kalonji. Okay, Kalongi, Kalonji. All right, and why I call him a mogul is because a mogul is a great man, a veteran, someone that can sustain their sustainability and in whatever industry or whatever trade they choose. And he's one of them. He's a DJ, he's a singer, he's a vocalist. In Jamaica we would say he's a sing J, but he's a DJ and he can also sing. And just like the late great Garnet Silk, he started out as a DJ before he became a singer. And those of who you guys that didn't know who's Garnet Silk was, he was Garnet Silk, the Silky One, but before he became Garnet Silk, his name was Bimbo. All right, and I'll get down into that because I have to talk about that great man that gone too soon. And I'm not gonna be doing a short video on him because he's from the same town. I grew up with Garnet Silk. Yes, guys, in case you guys didn't know, I grew up with Garnet Silk. Garnet Silk is from Mandeville, Manchester. I'm from Mandeville, Manchester. We grew up in the same neighborhood. We used to go to the market. We see each other all the time. But I didn't know him in person when he became the Silky One. I didn't know. Yeah, so it is what it is. It's a life journey, baby. It's a life journey, and here we are talking about a great Mughal. Goes by the name of Sizzla Kalonji. His birth name is Miguel Orlando Collins. All right, Miguel, Miguel, Orlando, as in the Orlando Magics, guys. Right. He was born April 17, 1976. He's a reggae artist, entertainer, entrepreneur, businessman. Um, he's been in the industry for a very long time. He started in the 1990. Yeah, I think 1990 he started out, and he's still um, a giant in the present day today. Um, his labels are Kalonji, Green Sleeves, VP, Digital B, Exterminator. That's five labels. I'm not sure. I know Kalonji probably belongs to him because that's his signature name. But for Green Sleeve, VP and Digital B and Exterminator, I'm not sure if he owns any of those. If he have part-time partnership in it, or if he owns it full-time, or he has no affiliation with them. Just giving you the little rundown. So yeah, guys, I have to talk about this great man before I go down deep down into the history of Rastafarian and their culture. And yes, guys, in case you all didn't know, Rastafarianism is not a lifestyle. It is not a lifestyle. Okay, it's a religion. It's a cultural religion. It's supposed to be formed as a spiritual religion to uplift the people that was in depression and poverty and slavery. And you all started from the great Marcus Garvey. That's why I always tell you guys, I will never stop talking about Marcus Garvey, because to me, that man was the greatest hero that Jamaica has ever seen and had. I respect and I love all my six national heroes. I respect them and I love them. But the seventh one, Mr. Marcus Garvey, Honorable Marcus Garvey, I can never stop talking about that man, because that's why I go back to say, you don't have to be dread to be a Rasta. It's the conception from the heart, because Marcus Garvey did not have any dreads, but he was a Rasta man, a true believer in the Rastafarianism. And if you go back to your history, guys, this is not something I'm making up or something. Go back to your history and read where Rastafarian all started from. It all started from the Marcus Messiah Garvey movement. That's where it all started from. And if you ever go to Jamaica and say anything bad about Marcus Garvey to any Rasta man, they will tell you, oh, no, you need to take a different path. You need to take a different path. You need to wake up from your slumber, because that man was a great man. In the eyes of bald head, in the eyes of Rasta, in the eyes of, whatever. Because I said Rastafarian is not a lifestyle, it's a religion. And it's a legal religion. It is not against the law for someone to grow their hair. No one can tell you to cut your hair if you feel like growing your hair. No one can tell you to cut your hair. You have the absolute 100% right to grow your hair, male or female, boy or girl. As long as you believe, as long as you understand the meaning of growing the hair. Because it's not every man that you see is a Rasta is a Rastafarian. It's not every man or every woman that you see is a Rastafarian. Because like I said, guys, Rastafarianism is not a lifestyle. I wouldn't even call it a culture. It is a religion, but they have their culture within that religion. And you have great men, past, present, and maybe even to the future, because some of these young artists that I see coming out of Jamaica that growing their hair, they got their head on their body, man. They holding true to the culture. They holding true to the religion, because the religion comes. it starts from the religion, and then you get the culture from the religion. You don't get the religion from the culture. You don't start a culture and then you try to take a religion from it. No, you start a religion, and then you form your culture around that religion, and whosoever wants to be in that religion, you gotta instill that culture on them and say, okay, this is what Rastafarianism is all about. If you don't think you can handle it, then you don't. I don't think you're treading on the right path. But don't tell that person that they don't belong here because he's a bald head and you're a Rasta man and he come with his philosophy and you come with your philosophy. Put both philosophies together. Because when Luciana met Garnet Silk in Mandeville, Manchester, Luciana was wasn't even a dreadlocks. He didn't even believe in Rastafarianism. He was a bald head. He was a bald head. But he was a Rasta from the heart. He was a Rasta from the heart. But he went to church and all that, and he believed in God and Jesus and whatever the case may be. And then when he met the Silky One, the Silky One, laid on his philosophies to him, and he laid down his philosophy to the Silky One. And they both, and after, I don't know what conspired between the both of them, but after the great Luciana left, he became the great Luciana because he took his belief and his thought and took the Silky One belief and thought and put them together, and here we are. But I'm not here to talk about those two great men, one past, one present. Right now, I'm here to talk about a legend, a living legend, Miguel Orlando Collins, aka Sizzla Kalonji. See, right? So, Miguel Orlando, born April 17, 1976, known for his stage name Sizzla Kalonji, Jamaican musician, this man is so great, man, that between 1990 and 2018, the man dropped 56 solo albums. Guys, 56 solo albums. The man dropped 56 solo albums. And he was born in Jamaica, St. Mary, Jamaica. He moved to Augustown at an early age. Sizzla, I think he that's why I was telling you that there are different tribes, guys. There are different tribes of the Rastafarianism, because he subscribes to the Baba Shanti branch of the Rastafarian movement. Yes, he did, because Sizzla Kalonji is a son to a Rasta man and a Rasta woman. Both his parents were Rastas, so this was instilled in him from birth. This wasn't something that he chose. Rastafarian. He didn't choose Rastafarian. Rastafarian chose him because he was born in it. He was bred in it. You get what I'm saying? And a lot of you guys that didn't know that, you think Sizzla Kalonji just grew up and then start growing his natty. No, he didn't grow up and start growing his natty. Because his parents were both Rastafarians, so he had that strong culture. You know what I'm saying? And he moved. I think when he was a teenager, he moved to Augustown. And yes, he did study mechanical engineering, guys. He did study mechanical engineering. So this man is a prolific man. He's smart. If you sit and you listen to Sizzla Kalonji and when he talks and his interview, you can tell that this man is an intelligent man. This man is intelligent because he's a mechanical engineer. That, yes, guys, this man can fix cars and bikes, and he owns bikes and he rides his bikes and stuff like the Great Lake Tiger, I used to I used to hang out at Tiger House like every day when I used to live in Papine. So yeah, guys, I knew a lot of entertainers. Yeah, me, me African 50 sitting here talking to you. I knew a lot of them from when they all just started out. I know I know Tiger House. We used to be hang out there every day on Hope Road. One side of his house was board and one side was concrete, but it was a blessed place to be. When you're there, you feel a sense of it's like you're living in a city, but you feel like you're in the country because Tiger, even though he lived on Hope Road, that man had a whole bunch of fruit trees in his yard and flowers and all that stuff, because he was a family man. So he had to make his home, family oriented. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, Sizzla developed a strong love for reggae music. Even when he was a mechanical apprentice. You know, and then I think the first sound that he got a break on was hi-fi sound system. Hi-fi sound system that where he got his break from. I'm not sure, but when I did my research, it told me it came up hi-fi sound system, and I'm gonna do my research on hi-fi sound system. Who was the owner? Where were they located? And he used um, uh, the man uses his music, you know, like a vehicle, you know. Uses music like a vehicle, man, and started a recording career in the 1995 with release to the Zagalo. I think I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right or if I'm Zagalo. I think Zagalo is Zagalou label. uh, Zagalo or Gazalo. Zagalou label. Then he then team up with Bobby Digital, um, um, Bobby Digital Dixon for series of singles, man. You know what I mean? And then he, he teamed up with Exterminator label, made Roots and Culture, and Luciano followed, and start making a little bit of money, you know, which we call it monetized these days, but back then they call it notoriety, 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 which we do these days call it monetized, and I don't know how much he used to make then, but I know, man, back then when I entertain, I make $200-300 for the day. That's like a week's pay or a month's pay to him, you know, based on their lifestyle and their background and where they're coming from and stuff like that, man. And um, yeah, I mean the man team up with so many people, man. Dean Fraser, Buja Banton, you know, Phillips, Fatis Burrells, man. Fatis, man, was a great director, man. Like, and then the great saxophonist Dean Fraser, and then you had the likes of Buja Banton, because Buja Banton was the hit in the 90s. Gargamel, you know. Big it up. Yeah, let's see your body rider. Me love my car, me love my bat, me love my money and thing. And the man go back and said, sing about him blackening and I almost got shot one night, man. I up in um Old Hope Road. There was a dance playing there, and we were supposed to go over Huey to a dance, but we didn't like the sound that was playing over Huey because it was the song Silver Hawk. It was Silver Hawk that was, and back then Silver Hawk was the sound, you know, nice smooth crips, like the Silver Hawk was like Stone Love and Metro Media and you know, a little bit of African Star and a little bit of Travelers put together, you know. So they had that little smooth side, but this also had that rough, you know, side, you know, to them and stuff like that, man. And I almost got shot one night, you know, from not from bad men, but from, you know, cops came in and just was just shooting up in the ear because when a Gargamel song was playing, Curfew, you know, Curfew was playing, man, and yeah, and man, you really, the song was playing, guy. How ironic was that the song was playing and it was a curfew, and we didn't know that there was a curfew, and yeah, people was running and jumping up, trampling down on each other, man, and you know, but that was the 90s, and at the end of the day, we went home and we talk about it the next day, and we go to we go to another dance the next night or whatever. You know, it was just dance hall. That's just how, you know, it was just the culture, you know. And you know, we went to dance hall and we go into the four corners of you know, the dance hall, you know. We look to the four corner, which corner we gonna escape from if something happen, guys. You know, we looking left, right, up, down. You know, something happen and man pop off, can run through there and there. So you know, that's how it is, man. So, but you know, Sizzla, man, you know, you know, man, you know, a lot of people don't talk about Sizzla. I know they're talking about other, you know, entertainers and, you know, maybe most likely the younger ones and stuff like that, because these great men are behind the curtain doing great things for the community and, you know, and other people, man, because the man went to Gambia and, you know, it was like the arrival of King Selassie the second, you know. He went to Zimbabwe and got the same treatment, man. And you know, I have all the clips and all that stuff, but you know, I don't want to jeopardize my video by putting these clips into my video, and then I hear from YouTube that, you know, it's copyright and stuff. I like to be original and make my own stuff. You know, I know it's not copyright for you to talk about great men and women, you know, or even kids. You know, that's great because I see this, you know, this kid now, he's maybe 19, 20 years old now, but I knew him since he was like 9, 10 years old, and I swear to God, this kid was smarter than me when he came on to to phone, these new phones and all of that stuff, because you know, I'm an old man. I was brought up in the old days, you know. But as I said, man, the world evolves and you have to evolve with it. You know, the world evolves. The world is evolving. It's changing. You know, it's taking this. You know, it's reforming. So you gotta be a part of that reformation. You know, so you know. After he did a couple of songs in the early days, you know, the man came out with Praise Ye Jah. You know, I think he teamed up with Jetstar, Praise Ye Jah, Hail the Emperor, King of King, you know, Earth Rightful Ruler, and you know, then you know, I quickly chump, man. The song just quickly chump and release, man. Dixie producer, and then after that, man, the man just hit them back again with Black Woman and Child, you know, Black Woman and Child, whoa, 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 you know, and man, and I remember, because I used to move back and forth from Manchester to Kingston, you know, because I have family in Kingston, and I have family. I had my grandmothers in Manchester and one in St. Elizabeth, and I love my two grandmothers to death. You know, I love those two women, and even in death, they still reach out to me. I swear, I'm telling you the truth, people. Even in death, they still reach out to me because we were few. We were few when it come on to grandsons. You know, there were so many granddaughters. My brother and I was the only grandson they had. My brother, my bigger brother, my father's son, was the only grandson that my granny had. So she loved the both of us like we were our own, you know, until, you know, my aunt, you know, a couple of years down the line, she gave birth to a son, you know. But then, you know, granny was getting old, and, you know, and and her grandson, last grandson, didn't play the country much because he's a town bumpkin and we are country bumpkins. So yeah, but yeah, he came out with Black Woman and Child, man, and the track was a smash. I'm telling you guys, it was a hit. It was a hit, you know. It was like something of a cultural reggae anthem, man. I'm telling you guys, when Black Woman and Child came out, it came out like a cultural reggae anthem. Then man, just drop a couple more in the 1997, include that like Mountain, Babylon Cowboy, Kings of the Earth, Kings of the Earth. I'm not gonna sing, but I'm not a singer, I'm not a DJ, but Kings of the Earth, what I'm saying, and then the Luciana duet, you know, after he did Kings of the Earth, and he did a duet with Luciana, the great Luciana, another living legend, A Better World, Build a Better World. I know you guys probably don't listen to that song that much, but if you go on YouTube or whichever is your favorite music platform, and you look up Build a Better World with Sizzla Kalonji and Luciana, the Messenger, then you will hear that song. I don't know if you have to pay for it or not. I have Apple, so I have Apple subscription, so I can just go there and listen to it. I can download it and upload it for you guys to hear, but I can tell you to go and listen that duet between the both of them. It's a wonderful track. It's a very wonderful and inspirational track. And yeah, and then the man didn't get cold because some entertainer they find themselves with some music and stuff like that, and then after they start getting praise and so they just disappeared. They disappeared. Ballad or Rasta. I seen it happen. A man come with one and two tune will hit the airwave and come number one, number two, and they take all that money and they I don't know what, they just disappeared, man. I mean, some man born with the luck and some get luck, and I think the ones that born with the luck sometimes make undecisive decisions that they later regret, but then they can't take it back because it's already happened. I mean, the man Hot Streak, man, enormously productively recordings, man, lace it over the next several a year, man. The man just you know just blew up, man, like like a ball, guys. Like what I'm saying, you know, I mean, the man became internationally known, guys. The man became internationally known because along with Universal Prison came Sizzla's first nomination for Best International Reggae Artist, guys. You know what I'm saying? The man got nomination for Best International Reggae Artist of the year of 1998. 1998. Mobile Awards. It's called the Mobile Awards, guys. Look that up. MOBO. Mobile Awards. He got nominated for that in 1998. All right. And then he was placed in various magazines, top 100 albums of the year, man. You know what I'm saying? And then the man just released dozens of albums, including, I remember the album he did, 1998, Kalonji and Royal Son of Ethiopia. And 1999, he was again. No, he got that award. Yeah, in 1999. Yeah, in 1999 he did. Went back and he got that mobile nomination. In 98 he was nominated, but he got it in 1999. Then he will remain a constant presence in the reggae charts worldwide, man. And right now the man have 21 albums that will make it on the Billboard top charts, man. 21 albums. 56, he have 56 albums between 1990 and present. But he had 21 albums that make it on the top 100 Billboard charts. And back then in America, when you on the Billboard chart, it don't even matter if you at number 100 on the Billboard chart, guys. You hit the Billboard charts, you know, and that's when the monetizing start to pay off. You get what I'm saying? My people, my people, tell me if that's not a great man, huh? The man have 21 albums that made it on the Billboard chart, reggae album chart, and his highest, I think his highest album on that chart was of Truth, Word of Truth. Yeah, I think Word of Truth was his top. It wasn't the number one, but it was his top album that made it on that chart. I think it was not. It dropped at a number 5 spot. Not sure how long it stayed there, but I can do my research for you guys and find out how long. He has 45 solo albums and over 15 combination albums, man. This man is a walking legend. Man have 45 solo albums and over 15 combination albums that he did with other artists, and not just on the reggae scene and the local scene, but also on the international scene. Right, guys? That's how great this man is. This man, he crossed over. He crossed over from the local reggae scene onto the hip hop, you know, because you know, he's vice versa like that. You know, he's one of the few Jamaican artist, entertainer, you know, DJ singer that can do that. He's just one of the few, man. That's why, you know, I said this man is a great man and a living legend, man. You know, I mean, man, the man he did recording alongside Capleton, Norrisman, Turbulence, Buju Banton, and Anthony B. Um, you know, they credited for leading the reimbursement of Rastafarian. You know, Anthony B. and Buju Banton and Norrisman and Turbulence. You know, those are the guys, are the men who took it after Sizzla and the great fireman Capleton. They started it, and then Turbulence they came along. You know, and Buju Banton, you know, he started. You know, at a later year, he started to grow his dreads and stuff like that. You know, because he saw the movement and he saw that this was a good movement and the right movement and stuff like that. You know, they brought spiritual and social consciousness, man. You know, to not just common people but worldwide. You know, and you know, it was just you know, it wasn't a physical attack. You know, it wasn't a physical attack, guys. It was just the Rastafarian movements within the concern, primarily with, like, you know, the spiritual and the social consciousness and the exploitation of Babylons and corruption and influence, and the ghetto youths, you know, oppression of black nation and Sizzla abiding faith in Jah and resistant, man, against, you know, perceived agents of oppression. That was what, you know, Sizzla was all about. You know, that was the young Sizzla. You know, in 2008, I think he did Ghetto Youth Ology. He did the Ghetto Youth Ology, produced by the Firehouse Crew. I think it was produced by the Firehouse Crew, the same who produced his album Burning Up. Big up to the Firehouse Crew, you know, for because the Burning Up was one of my favorite albums from Sizzla at that time. Get a Youth Ology was okay too, but Burning Up was my, I would listen to that album, from one to 10 or 9. I think it was 10 or 9 tracks on the label. Firehouse Crew, big up yourself to Firehouse Crew, man. Them guys have some amazing producers and directors and engineers, man. I see a lot of great artists come out of that label. Um, in 2013, he released the album Messiah. In 2013, he released that album Messiah. In January 2014. I think he was nominated for Grammy Awards. Yeah, look that up too, guys. Yeah, this man has so much nominations and so much awards, man, and it's not being talked about. You know what I'm saying? Why these great men are here walking the streets of Jamaica and the world and doing so much things, and yet you guys are waiting for them to die before you start recognizing the good work that they're doing, man. Because the man, again in 2014, the man was awarded for Grammy Awards, his first nomination in that category, you know. But when you are a local boy or a local girl coming from Jamaica or anywhere in the Caribbean island, and you make it onto the Grammy stage, you could say you have arrived, man. You have arrived, you know. And these days, I mean, Grammys don't really mean nothing, man. But in the 90s, when I was growing up, and I, when a Jamaican artist is nominated for a Grammy Award or any American award, for that matter, it's like the whole of Jamaica was awarded. You get what I'm saying? It's just like the West Indies. When the West Indies win the World Cup, the whole Caribbean island win the World Cup. The whole Caribbean island is just not it's not just the team or the management or the staff. It's the whole Caribbean island that wins that World Cup. When West Indies was West Indies, and West Indies was on top, like the great Sir Viv Richards and the great Sir Charles Brian Lara and the great Sir Courtney Ambrose, the great Sir Courtney Walsh, the great Sir Mike Atherton, you know, Kenny Benjamin, the great Sir Kenny Benjamin, those were the great men of the 90s. And yeah, and I'm gonna talk cricket with you guys. I'm going to talk cricket, and I'm going to talk some football. Yeah, not American football, but Jamaican football, soccer, rugby. I'm going to talk all them things. Well, you know, but it's all about this great, living legend that I see doing so much things and yet not being talked about. And he's a father. Um, I was trying to do my research to find out if he's married and the name of his wife, because I'm also trying to get that as well with all the people that I'm bringing, in my interviews and or my podcast. I want to get their full family background, if they're married, if they are unmarried, if they're single, if they got kids, if they don't have no kids, and guys in the entertainment world, men and women, if you have no kids, don't worry about it. Kids will come, because like the elders always tell you, it's Jah that bring forth kids, not man and woman. You birth the kids, but he bring forth the kids. He make it happen. So because I used to, at one point in time, man, I went for years, and I've been with all different type of women, and I not some, and I think I made some bad decisions along the way, because I was trying hard to get a child, and I've been with so many women just to try to get a child, and couldn't get a child, and I eventually start getting kids with women I didn't want to get kids with, but you know, that's how Jah work. You know, that's how Jah work. That's how the Almighty works. You know, He works in mysterious ways, and if mankind could understand Him, then we would probably try to overthrow Him on His throne. But that ain't gonna happen. Not in 1,000 billion years, man. It will never happen. You know. So yeah, man, and he got his son Raheem Collins and Melek Collins. Melek, which is Melech. That sounds like Melek, Russian. Sounds Russian. Melek, Melek. So Melek is kind of Russian. Melek. And our Czechoslovakia, Czech Republic or Czechoslovakia, Melek. Yeah, probably gonna look up that name Melek. But yeah, his sons are Collins, Raheem, and Collins, Melek, um, uh, which also followed him in his music career, working under the name Ramos K. Scorcha, Remus, right, Richie? Remus, yeah, Reemus and Scorcha, Skorcha. That's the label that they're working under right now. That's the name that not the label, but the name that they're working under. And you know, as you know, Judgment Yard is another big yard. You know, when it comes to name calling of the yards, because you have um, David House, you know, which is Capitan's yard. You know, King Shango, King David, you know, that's why he the yard name after him, King David, you know, so it's David House, you know, belongs to Mr. Capitan, Sir Honorable Capitan, and a Judgment Yard belongs to Sizzla Kalonji. You know, it was established in the community center in Augustown and eastern suburb of Kingston, man. Yeah, he established it, you know, as a community center, man. So you see, these men are behind the scenes doing a lot of things, and y'all saying they ain't doing nothing. I mean, Judgment Yard, he made Judgment Yard within himself, but you know, within his mind and within his heart, you know, and his mental capacity, he's telling himself that this community, this what I'm built, this Judgment Yard is for the community of Augustown. This is where I grew up. This is where my career started. This is where it's all started from. So if I'm gonna give back to anyone, these are the people I'm gonna give back to. And you know, don't get me wrong, he's still doing things for his community in St. Mary. You know, but you know, these men don't forget where they're coming from, and that's why they stay on top for all these years and become giant in the industry, because they never forget where they're coming from. You know, like an entertainer might, you know, born in the ghetto and, you know, come out and grow poor, and then he make it rich, and then he will talk about the rich side of life, but he won't talk about the ghetto side of life. It's just like if you go to New York or you go to Los Angeles or you go to, you know, you come here to Florida or anywhere, man, and you met another Jamaican, and you know, you're trying to be tougher, act tougher. You say, hey man, where you from? Kingston. And you ask him which part of Kingston, he can't tell you. And the man is from country. The man born and grew up in the country, and he probably not even go. He probably the only time he went to Kingston probably when he was to go and get his visa. You know, because you don't have to travel to Kingston anymore to fly out from Jamaica. You can go to Montego Bay, and they're making a third airport now. So you ask them where you're from, Jamaica. Which part of Jamaica? Kingston. Which part of Kingston? Um, um, Halfway tree, or yeah, you know what I'm saying. And I'm not ashamed. I'm a proud man to say I'm a Manchesterian, man. I'm from Kingston. I grew up in Kingston, but I'm not from Kingston. I was born in Kingston. I was born in Mandeville Public Hospital. Mandeville General, not even public. Mandeville General Hospital. That's where I was born. And I grew up in between Manchester and Clarendon and Kingston. Those were the three major parish that I grew up. I was circulating until I met my other side of family in St. Elizabeth. So it became four. It became four parishes. I started to circulate, and then I started going to Spanish Town because, St. Catherine, because I had a lot of family living in St. Catherine. So yeah, but I'm not from Kingston, and anybody meet me and say, "Hey man, where you from?" I'm from Jamaica, and Mandeville, Jamaica, the cool Manchester. All right. So yeah, guys, stick to your hometown, man. Don't be proud of where you were born, man. If you were born in St. Elizabeth, if you were born in Westmoreland, if you were born in Trelawney, tell the world that's where you were born, because eventually they're gonna find out. Because one day you become popular, and on social media and all of that stuff, they're gonna dig up your name. They're gonna Google your name, and they're gonna find out that you weren't born in Kingston. You were born in the country. And then they're gonna start saying, "Hey man, So it is what it is. So yeah, the man established Judgment Yard, man, in a community as a community center in Augustown. You know, even though Judgment Yard is an organization of sorts, it's also known as a geographic location at 41 Augustown Road, guys. It's a geographic location. It's not just a Rastaman build a yard and call it Judgment Yard. It's a geographic location. So you can go to Judgment Yard, and you can meet the star. If you're lucky enough to meet the great man Sizzla Kalonji, it's a place to go to view. It's a place to go to meditate. It's a place to go to relearn your culture. It's a quiet place, a peaceful place, a spiritual place. So guys, all you men and women who think you're gonna go there with some dirty sour heart, don't go to Judgment Yard, because the judgment gonna judge you before you even enter the gate. All right, guys. So yeah. So and he maintained the studio, man. He maintained his studio art, and he maintained his art and craft, man. The man, prominent artist in Judgment Yard. And I got to big up Joseph Shepherd and Bubba David and G Mac. He affiliated with them and stuff like that. And like I said, man, the man crossover into the international world, man. And it's not hip hop and it's not reggae, but it's just Sizzla Kalonji. It's just Sizzla Kalonji, man. And then one of the things, guys, that inspired me the most, guys, it was just when he went to Zimbabwe, the way he was greeted in 2010. He went to Zimbabwe in 2010. I think he went to perform for the 86th birthday celebration of the former Zimbabwean president. What's his name? Robert Mugabe. Right? Yes. That was the celebration. He went on the 86th birthday of the former president, Robert Mugabe. Because I was watching the whole thing from here, live on my podcast. A friend of mine that was over there was sending it to me live, and I was watching it, and I have clips and stuff like that. I just don't want to put it on my channel because I don't want it to be takedown for copyright reasons and stuff like that. I just watch it for my own personal entertainment. Yeah, but in 2010, guys, and you guys can look it up on YouTube or any one of your podcasts, which is your favorite, who you subscribe to. You can go and look up the 2010 Sizzla travel to Zimbabwe to perform at the 86th birthday celebration of the former president, David Mugabe. You can look that up. It was a great performance, including beatings of the crowd members by police, causing Sizzla to temporarily halt his performance and ask the police to cease the beatings. So yeah, that's how much they love that man over there, man. Yeah, I mean, it takes a powerful man to get the crowd to rise, and then he the one who have to talk to the cops and said, hey man, cease the beating. Let these people just be themselves. They come here to see me, and they're not firing shots and stabbing up each other, man. It's just, if you guys ever come to Jamaica and come to a stage show and you come to Sting, or you come to, Irish Jam, or you come to Sunsplash or Sunfest, or you'll see, man, Rebel Salute. Even though Mr. Tony Rebel, the great Tony Rebel, because he's one of the men that I'm going to be doing a long video on that man, because that man, behind the scenes, man, that man did so much for entertainment, man, and so much for entertainers, and yet they bash that man, and they call him names, and all kind of things, man, because, sometimes you say they never give a man his props, man. They never give a man his props. You know what I'm saying? I think later that year in the same 2014, yeah, I think he was awarded with a farm in country in the country. Um, I gotta look up what's the name of the village, if it's a village or if it's a city or if it's a town, but I know he was in Zimbabwe. He was awarded with a farm in the country, in that country, and I mean, the move were not without controversy, among Mugabe detractors, who insisted he not perform for the president. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I mean, when he got that land, the tractors, I mean, they came out of nowhere, start talking, like, this man is not from here. Why are you giving him land and stuff like that? Because they wasn't friends of Mugabe at that time, you know. And I mean, while he was insisting the land he received was not an award from the Zimbabwean government, but given to him by the local people as an appreciation. This land wasn't given to him by the Zimbabwean government, guys. Bear that in mind. So he's not owning a piece of land in Zimbabwe, in the country of Zimbabwe, by the government. It was by the people, guys, for his performance. Like I said, when in Zimbabwe, this man is like a king, man. This man is like a king in Zimbabwe. This man is like a king in Zimbabwe, man. And I think he's gonna make Zimbabwe his personal home one day, man. Because that man loves Zimbabwe. I mean, he's been to other countries in Africa, but Zimbabwe, man. Zimbabwe is always dear to my heart and dear to his heart and a lot of Rastafarians' heart. And I think if we all migrated back to Africa, Zimbabwe would be the place that I want to go and live. I mean, I'm not saying that Nigeria is not a beautiful country and well developed. I'm not saying Ghana is not a beautiful country and not developed. I'm not saying Kenya is not a beautiful country and not developed. But when you're in Zimbabwe, you feel like you're in Jamaica. Are you in in Trinidad and Tobago? Are you in Barbados? Are you in Guyana? St. Vincent. Zimbabwe gives you a little bit of all the Caribbean. So that's why a lot of people, their preference, if they live in a country that they live in for years and they want to retire, a lot of people is thinking Zimbabwe, because I am thinking Zimbabwe. If I ever should leave America and You know, I mean, I'm not gonna give up my country, Jamaica. I love my country, Jamaica, despite all what's going on. You know, your people, you know your people, and your people know you. And never run away from your people. You know, I'll leave America right now when I walk the streets of Kingston and go in a coronation market and go buy my vegetables and my groceries and you know, and chop my patois. So, you know, everybody can know that, you know, I'm a yardie. You know what I'm saying? That's why I never lose my culture, man. I never lose my culture. I never lose, try to lose my language. You know, I don't want to come here and, you know, grow up here. And then when I go back to my home country, I can't even speak my own language. No, no, no. And then, you know, like I was telling you, man, the legendary Sizzla Kalonji, he loves bikes, man. This man loves his bike. And he loves his bike so much that he got it, you know, he was like a tiger, like a modern day tiger with dreads, man. You know, he was a modern day tiger with dreads because he loves his bikes. You know, except for he likes the smaller bikes. You know, Tiger likes the bigger bikes like the Ninja Kawasaki's and you know, Sizzla like his little Suzuki and you know, Honda bikes and stuff like that. You know, but they're nice and everything, man. If you ever look up Sizzla's bike or his bikes, you see how beautiful he decorate and colorate them. I'm thinking on the 24th of August 2011, he was hit by a bus on his motorcycle. I think it was Salem Main Road. Main Road in Runaway Bay, St. Anne. Yeah, he got hit by a bus in 2011. The exact date was August 24th. Um, and after he got hit off the bus, there was so many rumors and report that he died. Yeah, people were talking about it. Even here in America, people were saying Sizzla because news, man, news fly, man. You know, I'm like, thank God for modern technology, modern day technology, man. That you can stay in Jamaica and see something happen, and in the blink of an eye, the world sees it and knows it and hears it. You know, thank God for smartphones, man. Thank God for smart cameras, and you know what I'm saying, and all them stuff, man. Because I mean, you know, you, your father could die just this minute, and you have a brother or sister that live in China or in Russia or in Germany or you know wherever in Africa, and you just pick up the phone and call them and say, "Hey, Papa died just now," and and you hear it in a few minutes. So, yeah, man. Um, when he got hit off that bus in Runaway Bay, St. Anne, you know, I don't know who was at fault because the report that we got that he was just hit by a bus, so we're not sure what exactly um, transpired that hitting of the great man Sizzla Kalonji off his bike while in Runaway Bay, St. Anne, on the 24th of August 24th, 2011. That rumors were spreading that he died. Um, um, then after that, you know, after 2011, man, 8 years down the line, man, October 2019, man, he was yet again hit, man. He got hit again, another motorcycle accident, and was hospitalized for a broken ankle. This time, yeah, the first time the report didn't say if he got any injury or if he went to the hospital, but 8 years after down the line, he got hit again. He got hit again. You know, man, this man been through so much, man. Broke his ankle, and I remember because I used to watch the great Sizzla Kalonji podcast, and I used to see him with his ankle all you know tape up and stuff, and he's on the crutch and everything, man. But the man still in the studio making music, man, putting in that work. You know what I'm saying? And then you know, Later down the line, after that happened, it's like things after things start happening to the man, because he was backlash for the anti-gay lyrics in some of his recordings, causing cancellation of many of his international concert events, man. So it was the devil that was after him, you know. And I'm gonna show you how these men rise above all that, because the man say rise above the occasion, you know. I think all these things that was happening to him, that what gave him the inspiration to sing this song. That's just my belief. That's just my thinking, my ideology, that he came up with that single track because of what was happening to him. Rise to the occasion, you know. So and then he got barred in the United Kingdom in 2004. Yeah, in 2004, you know. I know a fast track to 2011 and above, but in 2004, yeah, he was barred from entering in the United Kingdom, man. And outrage, man. It was outrage in Britain. They had a group named the LGBT rights group, alleged that some of Sizzla's songs contain lyrics that advocate violence against LGBT people. In 2007, it was supposed to do a concert in Toronto, in Montreal, were cancelled after protests from Stop Murder Music, Canadian Collegian. Kalonji's song titled No Apology. Not apologize. I think it was no. I think it was, yeah. It wasn't no apology. It was, but we Jamaicans said no apology. But not apologize was recorded in 2004. He was backlash for that. In 2018, his visa was cancelled, preventing him from entering Germany after performing half of his tour, and he just went back to the United States, man. Yeah, come back to the States. Come back to the States, great Sizzla. Come back to the States, man. America. That's what I said, man. You're somewhere and you want to refresh and stuff, man. You come to Florida and you come to America, you come to Florida, and get to the beach, get a different vibes, a different feeling, taste the different breeze, man. So the European, when you're a Jamaican artist and you can make it on the European stage, then you're up there. You will make it more on that stage than even on the American stage. Unless you cross over to some big hip hop artists or some big R&B artists, then But the man visa cancelled from Germany, man. And the man had to come to the States, man. And then he maintains his stand, man. The man maintains his stand, using his creative impression and freedom of speech. Speak against injustice, man. Man, never stop. In 2009 and 2010, several concerts in Germany were cancelled again after public protests against the concert, man. In 2012, concerts were cancelled in Madrid, Spain. Where in Spain, people love reggae music because they say whatever they want to say, but reggaeton comes from reggae. Reggaeton come from reggae. So how can you take a part of someone's culture and claim it as your own, and then you protest against them? Because reggae is what made reggaeton. Reggae is what made reggaeton. And you can't take reggaeton from someone's culture and then you grab it as your own, and then you're going to push reggae music aside, and then you're going to, blaspheme against, a culture that gives you life. You know what I'm saying? So in Madrid, and I love Spain. you know, I wish to go to Spain one day, Madrid, and you know, not just Madrid, but other places in Spain, and see the different cultures and stuff like that. I would love to go to Brazil because I heard that they have a black side of Brazil where all the Spanish, not the Spanish, the Portugals, the Portuguese. That's where they brought all the slaves from different parts of Africa and landed there. And then after Brazil had an, because that was their first city. I'm going to look up the name of the city, the first city, and the name of the city now that is their main state. Um, but that was their first city, first state in Brazil, where the slave were docked. Um, so yeah, so you know, a lot of history to be learned, man. A lot of history to be learned, and I'm digging deep into these histories and these philosophies and stuff like that. Even though I'm not a philosopher, I'm not a historian. You know, I just look up information and gather them and I read as much as I can. And you know, one of my inspiration to let me continue to read, man, is the great late Marcus Garvey. You know, the honorable Marcus Garvey. You know, Marcus Messiah Garvey. You know, whenever time I read a passage in his book, I read one passage in his book, and I take up a whole book and read a whole book just based on just one passage that I read in his book. You know what I'm saying? That's how great that man is. That man can take one word, can give you one word, and you use that one word and read 100 books. You get what I'm saying, guys? So, you know, and then the Belgian, Stockholm, Sweden, and Lisbon, Portugal, like I said again, man, after public protest, man, all these countries, guys, Spain, Belgium, Stockholm, Sweden, Lisbon, you know, I don't even, I didn't even know that there was a country by Lisbon, 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 and then Portugal after public protest. You know, Kalonji Music issued a statement after the cancellation, man, and said, you know, laws, you know, we abide by the laws and laws of every country, you know, that we perform, and we didn't, inside, you know, are trying to invoke, you know, any violence against anyone. It's just, you know, the performance. We didn't go to someone and said, okay, we're gonna perform, or we start to perform. Just start a riot, because no entertainer wants that, man. So you know, I mean, there's so much things to talk about, man. There's so many things to talk about. This great man, that's come out of my country, Jamaica, one of the third smallest island in the Caribbean, or the third largest island in the Caribbean. Um, I think we're the first largest in the Caribbean, because we have so many great entertainers. We have the fastest man in the world. We have the fastest woman in the world. Over the years, we had the best cricket um, team in the world. We beat any team, local and abroad. You know, we have so many resources, man. Jamaica is a beautiful place, nice and cool. The beaches, everything is so just so beautiful. You know, the only thing that's you know, spoiling Jamaica is Jamaicans. The only thing that's spoiling Jamaica is Jamaicans, because you can't stop the violence unless you try to make a change. And the only way you're gonna stop the violence and start the change is to start helping these people who's creating the violence. You can't sit at home and say, okay, this young 10-year-old kid, he's learning to fire a gun. I'm just gonna allow him to fire a gun because 2 years down the line he's gonna die. When it's your duty to pull this 10-year-old boy aside and say, hey, you're going down the wrong path. That's not you want a gun, but that's not the gun that you want to take up, because that gun kills people. You want a gun that can elevate people and lift people up, and that's a microphone in your hand, or a drumstick, or you take up a guitar, or you take up a machete and you go do some farming. Are you taking your education if you want to go sit in the seats of people that are working in banks and all that stuff? There are opportunities everywhere, but it starts from you leading the young kids in the right direction. It is your duty and my duty. Because when I was growing up, as a 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 8-year-old, I couldn't pass an old man or an elder. We never used to say old man. We used to say elders. Whether they are men or women, they're elders, and you could not pass the elders without saying good morning or good evening, a good night. You get a spanking right then and there on the spot. And come Sunday, you go at home for the rest of the week, but come Sunday when everybody gathered in church, that elder going to tell your parents or your grandparents or your uncle or your aunt or your brother or your sister, hey, your boy passed me a couple of days ago and he didn't even greet me and say good afternoon, and you go home, you're getting another spanking for that. So, those things was instilled in us for a reason, and we grew up with that, and we never lost that mentality. We never. Some people might try to pretend that they lost it because they don't want, they don't want to talk about their past. But man, let me tell you something. How can you know where you're going if you don't know where you're coming from, bro? How can you know where you're going if you don't know where you're coming from, sis? In order for you to know where you're going, you have to know where you're coming from. You can't throw away the past. Because the past is what leads you to the present, and the present is what's going to take you into the future. Alright? So your boy African 50 here telling you guys, just go to my channel, watch my videos, comment on my videos, share and like them, subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe, and when you subscribe, tell your friend that African 50 have some good, wonderful videos and some good information and some good teachings to for you guys to listen to. So subscribe to his channel and hear what he have to say. And like I always say, big up YouTube. Your respect is large to the heavens. We got my donors, my subscribers, my friends, my family, my well-wishers. You guys have a peaceful and wonderful day. And like I always said before I go, walk good. Until next time.
African 50